All right, first of all,
No, please,
Microphone, please speak.
Yeah, please.
okay.
Yeah, please.
All right.
No, it's a micro there, the red one. Okay, it's fine.
First of all, I'm very glad to be here, and I thank PlaceToB for having me this evening, and keeping with the speeches and the comments that your speakers have made. I want to make one thing up front. All my family lives in Sweden, and about 20 years ago, in working with the Natural Step, there was a lot of editorials, and I think they bear witness to one of the reasons why we in the Western world and our dominance on environmental issues have done and acted the way we have. In a Judaic tradition, okay, one of the philosophies that have come down is nature is to serve mankind, and we are here to dominate nature. Now that's a very subtle thing, but it's been a very powerful context into which we've operated for a long time, and it's influenced greatly, and it came actually out of our religions in many ways. And what I noticed, and in my experience in life, is that, which started out working with Indigenous when I worked in Canada. I worked with the Department of Native Affairs in the Arctic, and one of the first things that happened with me was working with a Canadian Eskimo named Isra Tukluk, and being a 20-something business maven and coming from the States, I asked him, how do you know what to carve? How do you know what what'll sell? And Isra looked up at me and he said, Bruce, someday you'll realize the spirit that's been encased in the stone, I'm just allowing it to be free. And at that moment, a voice said in my ear, Bruce, shut up and listen. And then I found a magnificent group of Indigenous people who had 26 words just to describe snow, whose dreams they followed during the day. They knew where the hunt was. They knew when the ice floes moved. They had a sensitivity beyond any scientific measurement device that we could produce at the time. This led to a whole journey, and I worked with an extraordinary group of people, about 120 of us in 20 countries. A lot of us have indigenous experiences and worked with sacred, doing film work and other things. In fact, one of our chief officers is an indigenous person. So recently, Jose Munras, who couldn't be here with us, who's the Mayan day keeper, had asked me to bring this to Paris. Now, here's a note of optimism for all of you. While we're looking at the dire situation we face on the planet, this calendar, which is made in collaboration with both Tibetan, Hopi, and Mayan, says it's for the next 26,000 years. And I said, next 26,000, you mean we're going to be around that long? And so I take it as a note of optimism. They said, well, if we get through this crisis, okay, we got a long ways to go. One of the things that has stuck out to me is the difference between our Western concept of thinking and the indigenous concept of thinking is they think, and we think in a fragmented thing. If we get rid of carbon, we'll be better. If we get rid of this, we'll be better. We get rid of it, and the indigenous way of thinking is different. The indigenous way is holistic. They look at life in cycles and relationship to their environment in the cyclical fashion, and that's something I think we need to borrow on. Because as I hear the arguments, I don't have time to outlay all the scientific research. I work with an extraordinary group of scientists and engineers, and the complexity of what's facing this planet is far more complex than just carbon, as our friend here just stated. The temperature's increased on all the planets in our solar system. The magnetic field in the sun has increased 230%. We're under a lot of different influences than just carbon, believe me. I wish the talk was longer. I'd give you the whole details. Anyway, I want to focus on this. This is an extraordinary map. Down here was all the collaboration, the science, the, how should I say, the dialogues that went on for a couple of decades actually, between indigenous, between science, between philosophers, between very educated minds within the indigenous arena who know both of the worlds, both the holistic world and the tradition world. And out of it, this is actually the first time this has been shown in Europe. Okay, this is the complexity that's forming the new Mayan calendar. Here you have 25 positions, and what they are, and this is really beautiful. And I'm going to leave a set of books with PlaceToB. They're going to have a lot of fun with it, so they tell you. If with this calendar you take your birth time and date, okay, it will tell you the primary mission, that the force that you're flowing with within the context of the cosmology of your birth. And let me tell you, it's very accurate. I was absolutely shocked when I had my first encounter with this. But what's the beauty of it? It's their incredible perception to observe, and it's not just messages on the iPhone, is to observe human nature, to observe nature, to observe the cosmology of the life that we and they live in. And out of it they derive this, which is just amazing. And each one of these symbols represent various aspects of human nature. Some of it's balance, some of it's intuitive skills, some of it is, obviously you got the eagle, those that see from on high. You got the owl, which observes with its wisdom. You got obviously the balance back and forth in life, those that can hold things in balance. You have the crocodile, which is a symbol for this time because it's bringing the ancient wisdom and knowledge forth. Where did I put that crocodile? It's in there.
Number 1.
Okay, yeah, there. Anyway, when you come up and observe it, I'll try to leave this up off to the side and you guys can take a closer look at it. But I think my time is up, okay, and I thank you for listening. You're a good audience if you have questions. This is now the PlaceToB's books. Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm going to work on